Joe's got a hoodie that says camping cheaper than therapy. Got a new tent to try out, so I'm going to get it pitched up, soak up these views and get some therapy of my own. And I guarantee that will get rid of all the stresses that comes with everyday life. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a website, head over to squarespace.com/Paul Messner for a free trial. Rain coming in again. Hard work when it's windy. See if we can find that pot of gold. Perfect conditions again. Again, it wasn't on the forecast though. How cool is this? Absolutely stunning from here. I could probably get a little pitch down there if I wanted. I'll add that to the shortlist. It's a little bit exposed and windy over here, so I'm not sure what the tent's capable of. So I'll head back over that way, try and get a little bit more protection from the rocks. Looks like they've got the same idea over there. It definitely makes sense to get a sheltered pitch, especially if you've got a cheaper tent. This looks a decent spot if the tent fits. Suppose I better get pitched up. The tent that I'm going with today is a single skin tent. It's a Nature Hike Vic 1. I'm not sure the exact specs, but I think it weighs about 1 kilo. I'll pop it on the screen. Now, this is the first time I've pitched it, which I don't recommend. I always think you should check it out before you get up on the hills. But I have checked that all the poles and pegs and everything are there. So this is a single skin tent. Has come with a footprint. So it'll be a good test for it in UK conditions. As you know, it does get quite humid here. And with that comes condensation. So it looks like you can put your poles into the footprint as well. Get the poles up. Everything's connected, so it should be straightforward if you've got enough hands anyway. And there's some kind of T-joint, it's like a skeleton of poles. So I have seen this done on Trev's video from Summit or Nothing. Looks quite straightforward. Put the poles in the little holes like that. Does mean bending the pole structure around. That looks pretty cool. And then a little bit like my Cloud Peak 2 and the Hilleberg, you just clip these to the poles. Really easy actually. Put it either side of the pole, twist it. starting to look like a tent now. And then this top pole just goes through these little eyes. It just looks like we have to stake these out. And you just pull it tight with the line locks. That's it. Quite like the look of that. These are the stakes that come with the tent. I like them mini groundhogs. And there's some extra guy lines as well. It is a bit windy today, so I'm going to need those. There we go, job done. Those little orange tabs are for the extra guy lines. Little flap for ventilation with a pole. Perfect timing. It's before those clouds come and get me. Let's have a gander inside. Oh, there looks a decent amount of space in there. Might just get my bag in when everything's out. I best get that unpacked and get out of the wind. Decent amount of space in here. As you know, I'm a bit of a short arse, but plenty of room above my head. Another little hatch here, so you could put something through there. Although the zip's not very big, you could probably still get your boots in there if you wanted. That's the vestibule, so could actually cook in there if you're careful. I've wedged my rucksack at the end of the tent, so that should stop my quilt from touching the art fly. For supper I've got a couple of bagels, a nice bit of bacon and mushrooms. However, some idiot's left his jet boil frying pan in the boot of his car. So I'm either going to have to improvise or have this boil in the bag all day breakfast. I'm thinking improvise. I'm gagging for a bit of bacon. I reckon just get it all in the pot, sacrifice a cuppa in the morning. A quick thank you to today's sponsor, Squarespace. So this week on my Squarespace website, I've added a couple of new products. My favourite is definitely the Leave No Trace t-shirt. It was really easy to upload the photos, add all the text, and then add all the different size options, etc. Creating an online shop really is that easy to do. So if you need a website, head over to squarespace.com/Paul Messner, where you'll get a totally free trial and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. I think I'll just cut the bacon into smaller pieces. Lesson number 1, always remember to bring your frying pan. I'm not convinced that this is going to work great, but I'm hungry. So it's all going in the pot. End of the day, a frying pan's just a flatter pot. It doesn't look the most appetising, but it's food. I can always fall back on this if it's horrible. I'm not going to try toasting my bagel over the flame. Just going to make a rubbish bacon and mushroom sandwich of some description. Bacon's not crispy. This is possibly the worst meal I've ever had camping. That's before I've even tasted it. Look at that. Three out of 10. I won't make that mistake again. It's a clean up job for one of me magic wipes. little tiny bit of water on it. And you've got a damp cloth for cleaning up your dishes. Fortunately, I've got something decent to put in. An energy bar and a drop of Hazy Jane. It's cold, windy and raining. I've had boiled bacon and mushrooms on an untoasted bagel. But I'm still loving it. I did say that, you know, camping is my therapy. It's what I love doing. I haven't had a care in the world since I've been up here tonight. Feels like I'm recharging my batteries. Definitely feel awake, definitely feel alive. Being outdoors in the fresh air, especially having stunning views like this, it's awesome. It literally doesn't get any better than this. This is good stuff as well. So some people say that they're born to do something. I don't know if that's true, but camping and being in the outdoors is definitely what I want to do. I don't feel that I'm meant to be in an office for 5 days a week, but I am grateful of that because it pays the bills and stuff. But what I love is getting all the messages and comments from people saying that, you know, what I've done has inspired them to get out and do stuff as well. I've had people that are in the 60s that are going out camping again. And I've had young kids that are ditching the PlayStations and buying a tent. So that's what I want to do now. I want to encourage as many people as I can to get outdoors and to try and experience the kind of therapy that I get. And hopefully it helps a lot of people like it helps me. But in order to do that, I really need to get out of the day job. I want to spend more time outdoors, more time making videos, and getting involved with whatever I can, you know, to help the outdoors community. Try and get involved with initiatives that are keeping the countryside clean. And I really just want to be a good ambassador for the outdoors community. So I've had a few comments about the way the channel's going. Some people have been very supportive and others have said that it's going a bit too commercialised. And there is some truth to that. In order to give up the day job, you know, I've still got to raise some kind of funds. I've got bills to pay and family to feed. It's not about trying to raise money for a Ferrari. I'm still driving around in my Fiesta. I just want a career change really. And I want my job to be making videos in the outdoors. We don't want to be rich, we don't want fast cars and mansions. I just want to be able to sleep in a little nature hike tent and that be my job. And that way we all get to enjoy a bit more of this therapy. That means that some of the videos will be sponsored. I will be continuing to promote the Messner brand. So all the hoodies and t-shirts and stuff that you guys have been buying, that all goes to help make the dream become a reality. And you get a cool bit of gear in return. Wind and rain's picking up a bit. Don't know if you can hear it. Getting a bit of flap on the tent, so it's going to be a good test. No condensation yet though. I'll let you know my thoughts on it and how it's performed in the morning. Morning. Didn't have too bad a kip. We've got visitors outside, look. The tent wasn't too bad at all for moisture. There's a very fine film across the top of the fly, which I've just wiped off with my little towel. You do have to reach all the way down here to open the door. So the tent doesn't have one of those things to roll the door up. It's got one of these little grips for just hooking it onto there, which is alright but difficult to do if you're inside the tent. That view looks like it might be starting to open up a little bit. Absolutely gorgeous. This is why I do it. Look at that, you can see the clouds rolling by. Gonna get back in the tent for a cuppa and a bit of a warm. Best brew I've had this week. It was quite sturdy with that wind last night. Because it pitches up so tightly, it does like boom a little bit like a drum. Nothing too bad, but if it gets windy, I'd get some earplugs. But I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I do prefer a double wall tent, but this had plenty of room inside, so there's no issues with my bag getting wet from touching the sides. A little bit of moisture I just wiped off really easily. But you can see where I've wiped up to on the inside there. Very easy to set up and very lightweight. I think it's got more space inside than the Lanshan one. Definitely easier to get a good pitch, but it is a little bit more expensive. I think it's about 130 quid. That's not too bad for a 1 kilo tent. We'll see how quickly we can put this tent down. Give it a quick wipe down before I pack it away. Makes drying it out a bit easier at home. Stopwatch started. Take these off first. And just start unclipping the tent. These are so easy, you just twist them and they're off. Take the guys out for the poles first. And the poles just unclip from these little eyelets. It's the main structure down. Just going to fold it over. Just roughly roll it up because I'm going to air it out when I get home. Plenty of room in the stuff sack, which I like. No worse than trying to fit one in and there's not enough room. Just the footprint to go now. That's it. 6.5 minutes. But that's with doing a little bit of filming stuff as well. As per usual, leave no trace. So I've been there, done that. Now I've even got the t-shirt. That's another therapy session finished for me. My batteries are all fully recharged again. So getting up here in the hills doesn't cost you anything. But is camping cheaper than therapy? Not if you buy Hilleberg tents, it's not. I'll leave you to soak up this stunning view. And I'll see you next time.